to welcome Ms. Gauri Adhikari. She is a pharmacist and pursuing masters in health outcomes and socioeconomic sciences from University of Toledo, Ohio, USA. She is associated with Helix as a research fellow and is working on various implementation research products. Her expertise lies in social behavior outcome research, particularly related to non-communicable diseases and using participatory research methods to respond to the specific needs and priorities of participating communities. So welcome, Ms. Adhikari. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rana, for this kind words and asking me to present our work on this platform. So I guess Dr. Ritesh has already sort of given us an brief background of what I'm about to present now. It's policy compliance of tobacco control laws at point of sale and public places in India. It is a part of our project, of our ongoing project, which is longitudinal study, which Dr. Ritesh has just talked about right now. Can we move on to the next slide, please? Right. So before I begin, of course, some acknowledgements from my India team, Dr. Pednekar, Dr. Gupta, my mentors, and my other team members who made this project possible. Of course, the international team of Dr. Ritesh, Dr. Raghu, and Dr. Bill for conceptualizing this project. Also, some other members, our field workers, and the server participants for their cooperation. The next slide, please. Right. So I guess this part has already been discussed quite a bit even yesterday of how point of sale tobacco product marketing is actually associated with more susceptibility of tobacco use and increased purchases by existing users. We talked a lot about tobacco industry interference yesterday. We of course have the COTPA Act, which regulates tobacco sales and promotion at point of sale and public places. However, we all know that policy implementation has been a challenge, particularly for achieving full compliance in specific settings like the point of sale. Um, Next slide, please. All right. So the purpose of this study, what we did, which is the second part of our longitudinal study, was the community mapping, basically to identify what is the community level compliance of COTPA policy measures at point of sale and public places in the two cities of Mumbai and Kolkata. What we did was passive observations of tobacco vendors at point of sales and public places within communities. So we had 52 communities overall in Mumbai and Kolkata, which we identified, which sort of gave us the representation of the two cities. If you can just go on to the next slide, I should be able to show you. All right. So we use the national sampling survey frame for identifying our communities. They divide their areas into IV units. What we did as for our definition of the community, we just sort of extended the IV units in all the four directions so that our one community is of 1 square kilometer. All tobacco vendors and public places within those communities were marked. We use the ArcGIS data collector to actually get data on the tobacco vendors and the public places. For the tobacco vendors, we overall marked around 5,000, about 5,000 tobacco vendors, which included things like pan bidi kiosks, general stores, tea shops, street vendors, supermarkets, small grocery stores, tobacco specialists, and mobile vendors, pretty much encompassing the entire type of tobacco vendors that we had. For public places, we included restaurants and bars together, some hospitals, educational institutions, which included everything government, private, colleges, all kinds of educational institutions were included in it, and some semi open public places like the bus stops. Next slide, please. All right. So just a small visualization you can see for both Mumbai and Kolkata, which pretty much encompass the entire city. The small red dots that you can see are the tobacco vendors, which you can see is quite a bit in both Mumbai and Kolkata. A short image of each IV in Mumbai and Kolkata is depicted as well. So you can see that the density is quite intense for tobacco vendors in both cities. However, in Kolkata, it was a little bit more per square kilometer of tobacco vendors. Like the density was a bit more than what it was in Mumbai. The next slide, please. All right. So once we marked all the tobacco vendors and the public places that were included in each community, we randomly sampled about 20% of those tobacco vendors and public places in each area. So to get the compliance checks or to do the compliance measurements. So overall, we had about 1,229 tobacco vendors, 650 in Mumbai and 579 in Kolkata, and around 937 public places, around 546 in Mumbai and 391 in Kolkata, for which we did the compliance measurements. The next slide, please. So this is what just the overall area looks like. So the first image on your left is what was actually mapped for all communities, and the second one represents the vendors and public places for which we did the compliance measurements. Next slide. Oh, next slide, please. All right. I guess we skipped a slide. Oh, I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah. All right. Thank you. So this is just the distribution of tobacco vendors and public places, just to give a brief idea of what type of tobacco vendors and public places did we map. We had around 40% of areas and 40% of mapping for general stores. We had around 35 to 36% of pan bidi kiosks, around 10% of street vendors. Tea shops and stalls comprised of around 7%, and the other things like supermarkets, small grocery stores, tobacco specialists, and mobile vendors constituted of about 4% of the total vendors that we mapped. For public places, we had around 10 to 15% of educational institutions, around 10 to 12% of hospitals. Restaurants comprised a lot of around 70%, and restaurants and bars comprised of around 3 to 5%. A separate cohort was made up for open public or semi-open public places like bus stops. We had around 351 bus stops marked in Mumbai and 81 marked in Kolkata. Next slide, please. Right. For the tobacco vendors, for identifying what is the compliance, we use measures like whether a sign was displayed at the in the local language about ban on tobacco sales to minors. This should be present for at all point of sale, as we know, and the location, size, language, whether the content was compliant or not, and the visibility and legibility of the sign was also measured. We also did observations for the advertisements that were displayed. For each advertisement, if it was within the size limit, was there an health warning on the surface or on the top, if whether it, what if it included brand name, what was the brand name, what was the product that was advertised, if there was a product image, if there was a brand name, was there a backpack shot of any type, or if it was an illuminated ad. All those kinds of measures were measured, all those kind of measured were documented for each and every advertisement that were there in all the vendors. Whether the vendor was present within a location of around 100 yards of an educational institution was seen. If the tobacco products are placed near candies or snacks were also measured, and if there was a minor buying or selling tobacco at point of sale was seen. The next slide. All right. For public places, we had if there was someone who was observed at the public place, was there a presence of ashtrays in the public places? Was there compliant no smoking signage at each entrance, staircase, and elevator near each exit was seen? Presence of other no smoking signs like the normal ones that you generally get, just with a symbol or just which says no smoking. Those were also measured, and if there was any anti-tobacco signs which were there, that were also seen. The next slide. We've also measured educational institutions. Although it was a part of the public places, we actually measured it separately to see again the similar measures to that of public places. If anyone was found smoking with the presence of ashtrays, where compliant no smoking signs were present at each entrance, staircase, and elevator. If there were other no smoking signs, anti-tobacco signs, but also one very important thing, that is the presence of board which states that it is illegal to sell tobacco within 100 yards of the educational institutions. The next slide. All right. So I am just going to provide some brief about the vendor compliance that was measured in Mumbai and Kolkata. So unfortunately, there was only about 1% of vendors who were fully compliant with all the policy measures that are in place. As you can see, non-compliant signage, excuse me, of illegal sale to minors were rampant in all types of public places across both Mumbai and Kolkata. Around more than 80% of all vendors in both Mumbai and Kolkata had tobacco products which were placed near candies or snacks. Minor buying or selling tobacco was more in Mumbai, that too in pan and BD kiosks, rather than that in Kolkata. It was very less was seen in Kolkata as such. Vendors having more than two entrance ads was a lot more in Mumbai, particularly around tea shops and stalls and general stores. Vendors having non-entrance ads were everywhere, like in all types of in all types of vendors in Mumbai and Kolkata, especially in tea shops and stalls near Mumbai, and in general stores in Mumbai. Um, and like I said before, only less than 1% of all the vendors that were measured were fully compliant with the policy measures, which is like a most striking fact. Next slide, please. So, public places compliance with policy measures, again, fully compliant was very less. We had only about 4 to 5% of public places which were fully compliant as such. Then, for the absence of no smoking signs, you can see that the absence of no smoking signs was much more in educational institutions in Kolkata rather than in Mumbai. But it was still around 98 to 100%. There were no significant differences as such. In restaurants as well, the compliant no smoking signage was very less. In restaurants, actually, the normal no smoking signs, or the so-called normal no smoking signs that we see, which says just a signage or just a no smoking language written on it, was more popular rather than the compliant ones. There were absence of and no other no smoking signs were also absent. There were very minimal anti-tobacco signs across all types of public places. Presence of ashtrays were a lot in, of course, restaurants and bars. And people found someone the field investigators found someone smoking was more around restaurants and bars in Mumbai rather than in Kolkata. All right, the next slide, please. So, in conclusion, we had more than 99% of tobacco vendors and public places who were found to be non-compliant with at least one compliance measure. Around 88% of the vendors in Mumbai and 83% in Kolkata had tobacco products placed near candies or snacks, which we know it easily attracts consumers, or even the adolescents. Of the sample public places, 91% were compliant for displaying no smoking signs as such. So overall, the compliance with tobacco control laws at point of sales and public places was extremely low. And like we have also seen yesterday, we do need more focus on compliance surveillance and identifying strategies for increasing compliance in India. So thank you. That's all, and thank you so much for providing me with this opportunity to present our work here. That's all. Over to the chairs.
Thank you very much, Kayuri.